Hi guys, welcome back to Hanging Out with Lori. How are you today? I hope you are doing well. Today I am excited to be doing a video dedicated to one of my favorite brands, and that is Pacifica Beauty. Pacifica Beauty hit my radar back in 2018, and they first hit my radar because of their nail polishes. They have I want to say a 9-free nail polish. And that is how I was introduced to them, is through their nail polish. Since then, I have used their hair care, their body care, their sunscreen, their makeup, but very little of their makeup. I have tried a couple of eyeshadow palettes of theirs, and that is it. So during I want to say the 21 Days of Beauty sale, I think that's when I was kind of surfing through Ulta's website and just kind of checking things out, and they had a sale on Pacifica, and so I decided, why not do a full face with this brand, highlight them, talk about them, see if you even like their makeup. You might not like their makeup. Now, I do have some items that I had prior to this, but I did have to purchase a few other items. So when I'm going through the different items, I'll let you know whether I've already had them in my collection or if I have added them for this video. So let's dive in and get the show on the road, since we're going to be here a while. Now, I do not have an eye primer, so I'm just going to take their Pacifica Liquid Cover Full Coverage Lasting Concealer. It is vegan and cruelty-free. It doesn't say what shade, like the name. It says 17CL, whatever that means. Now, when I was looking at the bottle, it did say that it is a natural mineral concealer, and I will be honest with you, I do not know a whole lot about more natural makeup, more mineral based makeup. Even when it comes to sunscreen, I don't know the difference between mineral and a chemical sunscreen. I'm not well versed in a more natural makeup process. Does it work differently? Does it adhere differently? Is it better for one skin type over another? That I don't know. What I do know is I like Pacifica in that they're they're cruelty-free, they're vegan, they really target an audience that has more selection now, but didn't when Pacifica came out onto the sphere. I do have a couple of palettes by Pacifica, but this palette really caught my eye, and this is the Animal Magic palette. And on the back is all these different animals, and I want to say what kind of energy or power they put off. Like the blue whale listens to the heart. The unicorn is the purest energy. So I just thought it was cool. I don't even know what it's called. So obviously I'm not really into that, but I do find it fascinating. So this is what the palette looks like. It is a gorgeous palette, and I am going to take the shade Swan here and just set my concealer, set my eyes with it. And I am just going to do from the transition up. I want to leave the lid a little tacky. The color story of this palette really spoke to me. Now, I do wish this, since this is just plastic, I wish it folded all the way back so I could handle the palette a little bit easier, but it doesn't, so I will have to live with it. I'm going to take this shade right here. It's called Stag, and I'm just going to pop it in my transition and up towards my brow bone. And we'll see what kind of color payoff we get. They're mineral eyeshadows, and you get 0.89 ounces per pan. So I think it said there's 23 grams, 25.2 grams total for this palette. I do have a love affair with Pacifica, but not everything I have tried by Pacifica has been a hit for me. I have struggled with some of the eyeshadow palettes that I have tried in the past. I love their blushes, and I'll be using one of my blush duos by them. I did not like, I had a curl product, hair care product by them that I did not like whatsoever, but I just finished up a conditioner by them that was very hydrating. I really liked it. All right, I'm going to go with this shade right here called Mouse. And I'm just putting it into the crease. And I've had the same luck with their skincare as well, both for their face and for their body. I've had more misses with any of their face products than I have with body products. But that's just because my face is a little feisty. It has nothing to do with Pacifica. And I do like their perfumes. I'm going to take this shade right here called Otter. It looks like it might be a satin, but it's kind of like a plummy brown. And I am going to put it on my outer. These are highly pigmented, holy smokes. They decided to trim around the porches, I guess. We got a notice that they would be mowing at 3 o'clock today every week. And so I'm like, okay, well, I'll film earlier than usual. They should have said we also will be weed whacking before they come and mow. That would have been good intel to know. All right, well, I am really liking this. Now, I did swatch this palette, didn't swatch for nothing, but so far, I mean, my eyes aren't done, but so far, the pigmentation is very nice. It's blending beautifully. I'm having no difficulties whatsoever with my makeup. Well, it looks like they may have a couple of glitters in this palette. Kitty and Coyote. I don't wear glitters, but for those of you who do, they're pretty darn smooth. Maybe I'll wear that. Is it Coyote? It looks like Coyote. Maybe I'll wear that. It looks like a glitter in the pan, but when I swatch it, it doesn't look like a glitter at all. Ooh, that's pretty. So I really like this Animal Magic palette. I love the theme of it. I love that they have the different energies that the animals give off. I am highly surprised how well they performed when I went in with a brush. When I swatched them, they didn't perform at all, but they performed very well. So hopefully they wear nicely as well. I do not have a face primer by Pacifica, so I am just going to use what I'm panning, and that's Becca's First Light. For my foundation, I'm going to use this Alight Multi-Mineral BB Cream. It's an all-in-one bare skin tint. It's illuminating primer. Oh, oops. Perfecting Finish and shade matching technology. It says it's in shade 1, which I think was light. The shade range on this BB cream was subpar. It says it's an all-in-one weightless tint utilizing specialized mineral pigments to adjust to your skin shade, helps diminish the appearance of pores, fine lines, and uneven tone for a dewy, radiant, bare-faced finish. So I kind of screwed up with the primer. The color matching function of this, I have only seen in K Beauty. That doesn't mean it's not around. I just haven't seen it. So I did put some on the back of my hand. I actually got too much, but I'm just going to take my sponge and start, holy smokes, putting it on my. It's very thick. It does not feel like a BB cream whatsoever. I know I'm swiping with this, but I'm trying to spread it. Okay, well, as far as the shade matching, the color matching technology, it seems to be doing okay. I don't have any type of issues with it being that stark white that it came out as, so that's good. I guess that's one reason to justify having a smaller selection of foundations or BB creams if you do color matching and it works. I'm going to take that same liquid cover, full coverage, lasting concealer and put it underneath my eyes, along my nose, up between my brows, on the side of my nose, especially where I have that broken capillary, and a little on my chin. This is actually a pretty creamy concealer. I will say that it really spreads out nicely when I went in with the sponge to spread out the concealer on my eyes. I did notice how well it just smoothed over. I've had a lot of concealers lately that just drag and pull, and I don't like that. I mean, age is getting to me. With all my wrinkles, I don't need my concealer to help add to my wrinkles. Okay, it doesn't feel like this concealer gives a lot of coverage. It's okay. I have the Pacifica Cheeky Cherry Cheek Stain for my cream blush, and this is in the shade Cherry Baby. I'm just going to put a little dab on the back of my hand. That's what I do. I spread it out and then I use a brush or a sponge. I prefer those two methods over my fingers, but you can use your fingers. It's really a preference at this point. And this is called Cherry Baby, is that what it's called? And I'm using my F4 Duo Fiber brush from ColourPop. From the name of it, I thought it would be like kind of have a little bit of a cherry lean, like a pink red, or maybe a reddish pink. This is such a nude, it's not even funny. Kind of like cherry juice stains. That's what it reminds me of. And why I use a brush or a sponge is because I feel I have more control over placement, and I always use a stippling motion versus a swiping motion to really pounce those cream products in. I struggle with this cream blush. only because it's a little thicker. It's definitely packs pigmentation. It doesn't shear out very well, so you really have to go slowly. Wrong side, Lori. You have to really go slowly in building it up, like you would a powder versus a more sheer cream blush that we kind of get used to. This one really is pigmented. It reminds me of the Flower Beauty blush bombs in how pigmented it is, and its viscosity. It's very thick. It's not loose whatsoever. And there's good and bad to both of, you know, to both of those. But why I've really struggled with this one is because I wanted that pinky red flush on my cheeks, and instead I got this cherry stain nude. And I don't like the formula enough. Well, I don't mind the formula. I don't like it enough to buy another one to try out a different color to see if I would like this more in a different shade. And I always go over my cream sponges, cream highlighters, cream bronzers, anything with the sponge, and just really work it into the skin so it just is flush, so it's not sitting on top. The liquid highlighter I have is this Get Lit mineralized, it's called the Get Lit Multi Highlight, and of course it is natural minerals, vegan and cruelty free, and this is in the shade Pink Opal. So let's see what we have here. This I have not used yet. So we have a dropper. It's not as loose as some of my other liquid highlighters, but it's not thick whatsoever. It does look like it shears out though. So let me get my sponge here. I'm just going to use the camo sponge, and I'm just I spread it out on my hand, and I'm just picking some up on the tip. I know they have some CBD products, and I have their lip mask, and I don't like it, to be honest. It tastes rancid. I'm sure it's not, but I'm just not impressed by it. It's a very subtle highlighter, but it's present, which is nice. For powder, I have this neutralizing mineral mattifier. It is made of wild cherry and coconut. Doesn't smell like it though. I was kind of hoping, to be perfectly honest with you. But, oh, there's a lot of kick up with that. Okay, it does mattify. Look how I had that dewy look, and now I have zero glow. So, and I have very little powder on my brush. So it mattifies. We'll see how long it mattifies. I mean, I will never be able to tell if I get that glow back, because I won't get that glow back. But at least we know it mattifies. I guess you can see a little bit of the dewiness. For blush and bronzer, I'm using this Pacifica Coconut Blush Duo. It is a coconut infused blush. This is more bronze, this is more pink. So I'm going to see if I can use this as a bronzer. If I can't, I will just grab one and use it really quick. But I want to see if it works. But it is seriously dusty. Can you guys see that? Okay, I'm going to take the blush. Oh, that's pigmented. I barely tapped in there, but I just set it right down, so that's my own fault. Okay, that mattifier, can you see my broken capillary here? How it is like a flashing neon light from putting that mattifying powder on it. Holy Toledo. Okay, that blush worked okay as a bronzer. I mean, It wasn't perfect, but it worked. I am going to go off camera and use my highest def hemp fiber brow and my highest lash chronic volume mascara. I have used this, I have not used this, and it actually works pretty darn well. So I will be right back to finish up this look and my thoughts on these products. For the highest def brow hemp fiber brow set, I like this a lot. It's in the shade number 4 medium, and it is nice. When I pull it out of the tube, I always have to wipe the tip off because the tip carries so much product. So I start at the middle of my brow and then go back and do the front part. So that's how I work this brow gel. The color is nice. I like to use this especially on days when I am in a hurry and I don't have time to fiddle-faddle with my brow cream. I throw that on, so I have really enjoyed it. It does get a little crusty if it gets too thick. If it doesn't, it works okay. The mascara, I don't know if you guys can see. I actually like it. I don't know if it's volumizing, but they definitely are. It's more lengthening than anything. The brush head is wild. It's, can you see that? It's wide at the base, goes in, it curves out again, and then comes up to a tip. So it's always going in and out and in and out, kind of like a corkscrew a little bit. And I wasn't quite sure how to work it, but I just found, I think if you are one to roll through your lashes, that this design would work really well. But because I'm just doing good to blink my way through mascara application without taking my eye out because of my trimmer, that cool looking wand head didn't really apply like I think it would have if I was one to roll my mascara. I did like this because it isn't scented. It actually smells kind of earthy. So I do like that. In the past, I've had one of their lip tints and I didn't like it. It was extremely rancid and I did not want to spend money on something that I thought might be rancid again, or at least rancid tasting. So I didn't go there. And as a setting spray, I have this Crystal Dew setting spray that my friend gave to me. So I'm just going to set my face, and it needs it. That mattifying powder is mattifying. My face feels, well, before I sprayed that setting spray, it felt as dry as the Sahara Desert. So not only did it look dry, it felt dry. Now my under eye is extremely cakey because of that mattifying powder. But overall, I think it looks okay. While they were weed whacking in front of my house, I did take the shade, this shade right here called White Raven, and I just put it in the corner of my eye. Overall, everything was pretty good. I would give it an 85-90%. I was not expecting much out of the eyeshadow palette because I had swatched it and it performed beautifully, much better than any other eyeshadow palette I have had from Pacifica. This highlighter is amazing. I still have a nice healthy glow. It isn't overly stunning in your face bam, but it is a nice subtle highlighter underneath the powder. really the only miss I had was this mattifying powder. I wasn't expecting much from, I wasn't expecting it to be a hit since it is a mattifying powder, but I thought, you know, as a powder, it worked okay. I saw how it took out the shine from this dewy BB cream, but everything else was good. That is my full face of Pacifica. I enjoyed it. I love Pacifica. If you like brands that are a little cleaner, a little healthier, kinder to the environment, check out Pacifica. If you like Pacifica, or if you have used Pacifica and there are things about Pacifica that you like, leave those items down below. Tell me what your thoughts are on Pacifica, good or bad. I am always interested in people's thoughts on different brands. I thank you for being here and spending some time with me. Please take good care of yourself. Be safe. Make sure you wash your hands, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.